controlling from back there? Okay. Okay. All right. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out for the meeting. This will primarily be about the move to Kenilworth, and also it's going to be just a quick overview of the tax plan. Now, I will ask you to please take note, mental note, pen and paper note on your electronics on the date that will strictly focus on the Reimagine grant. Everything all Reimagine will be on Tuesday, May 16th at 5 p.m. I will repeat this again at the end. So on the total focus on the Reimagine grant itself and entirely on the Reimagine grant will be Tuesday, May 16th, 2023 at 5 p.m. All right, so one of my favorite sitcoms growing up was to watching those. Everyone should recognize that was in my era. That moving truck. What show is that? The Jeffersons. Good. I used to love the Jeffersons, and so I titled our meeting "Moving Out and Moving On Up." Moving out and moving on up. And what are we moving up to? All right. So for 2 years, as you know, we are moving to a swing space, which will be the old Kenilworth Middle School. And after 2 years, we will move to a brand new building, which will be at this site. They will tear this building down and give us a brand new building. So the PowerPoint shows important packing events for BRCVPA. So we're moving from, of course, this building, which is 2040 South Acadian Thruway, and then we're moving to Kenilworth, the Kenilworth Middle School site, which is at 7600 Boone Avenue. If you don't know where that is very close to Highland. In between Perkins and Highland, there's the neighborhood, and you also have on that corner, if you're on Perkins, the football stadium and the Olympian football stadium and different things like that if you haven't been there before. Kenilworth, the temporary site, will be ready for operation before August 1st. I will explain that there are a few negotiations going on how to operate because technically Kenilworth has the building until the end of the fiscal year. That's June 30th, and then it changes hands to us. So there are some talks being made so we can kind of work together and get this thing moving. Next. So BRCVPA will be housed there for 2 years. That's the next year, the 2023 through 24 school year, and then our second or last year will be that 2024-25 school year. Next. So we moved back to the brand new building, like I said before, summer. The teachers will move in summer 2025 to set up their classrooms, and we set up our offices. And then we will start the brand new school year, the 2025-26 school year in the brand new building. Next. So on January 12th, 2023, we were given the opportunity to do a quick tour of Kenilworth Middle. From that point, I hadn't been at that school in about 20 years. 20 years ago, I used to teach special education summer school there doing my summer job. So that's the last time, and I think the principal there was Ms. Davis, Viola Davis, back in the day. And so that was my summer job. All right, so this is when we first approached Kenilworth. That is the front parking lot of Kenilworth. And the next picture is of me walking up to the front door. So just to kind of give you a visual, if you have not been in or been to Kenilworth. Next. That is the picture of the front office, and that beautiful lady being cut off is one of my executive director, Ms. Aguilar, standing in the front office. So that's the front office, how it looks in Kenilworth. Next. That's another view of the front office. And when you walk in, they have a trophy case when you walk in. Next. That is the first hallway. The way the building is built, you have those who haven't been in there before, you have a left hallway and you have a right hallway with the front office in the middle. So this is the right hallway where majority of the classes will be, because that's where the majority of the classrooms are, on the right side of the building. They're very spacious classrooms. To the right, that picture to the right is the teacher's lounge. Teachers? Yeah, that's just one, it's huge. Next. That's more pictures of the teacher's lounge and workroom. Those are staff restrooms that they have been renovated. So you got new tile, new fixtures, new everything in there. It smells nice in there. It's great. So that's how that looks. The kids kind of look the same a little bit, but they have tan and brown tiles in it, but it's just on that level. Next. Okay, so that is a picture of one of the hallways to just give you an idea. All of them are different colors, so we really don't have that much painting to do, because it looks like they recently done this maybe 2 years ago or something like that. And to the right is a classroom on how they look. They're very spacious classrooms. Next. That's a hallway, and that's the lovely Ms. Boudreau, assistant principal in the library. You all, Ms. Manning, the library is huge, huge. And so that was a picture. We'll get to another picture later. Next. That is the side of the campus where the buses pick up, and to the right, that's the opposite side, where either carpool or whatever we make a decision on how we drop off will look. Next. We have a real conference room, teachers, so we don't have to cram up Ms. Hebert and Ms. Boudreau's office. And so there's a separate room. And then that's another classroom. That's a yellow hall. All of them are pretty much constructed the same. Next. That's the cafeteria. Now, the cafeteria, don't let it fool you. For those who have not been to the campus, that wall can fold back and form a huge cafeteria. So you can keep it divided, or you can fold it and just have a two-sided cafeteria. Next. That is the gymnasium. Yes, and so for the arts folks that are here, it's like a stage and a gym, and to the left, that's all stage back there. There's so much space that you can even put desk and actually have a classroom on that stage if you want. Next. All right, so that mysterious gentleman is Mr. Morales, EBR with buildings, in charge of all of that, and he's in the classroom. To the right, is that part of the library, Ms. Boudreau? That's part of the library as well, very large. Next. That is the backfield. That's not even all of it. They have a football field, soccer field, and a lot of places for just a large space for kids to play. So we got to see how we're going to either fence that to keep the kids contained or whatever. It's a huge area if you have not been there. Next. So that is a science classroom, and to your left, to the right, what's that classroom, Ms. Boudreau, when we went there? Yeah, ESS classroom. To the left, that's the science lab, and they have science classes that look like that. Next. All right, that actually, is that the art room? That is the art room to the left, huge. You can almost put a dividing wall and make two of those. Very large classroom. And that hallway to the right actually has like a set of one, two, three classrooms, smaller classrooms, and a hallway. So it's almost like you can have a school within a school on that side. So when I say that we are using a very large space, just not worrying about space won't be here. Next. And that's it? All right. So those are just a few pictures. We'll have another opportunity to, hi, Mr. Brickhouse. All right. We'll have another opportunity to go on the campus this Saturday. The executive director, Mr. Zazouk, has planned with me to allow a small team again to come and visit on Saturday before Mother's Day. And staff, I will tell you that there will be a chance, and we'll send the emails or send communication out when it's okay for staff to come in and take a look. And also when we get close to getting it together where parents and our stakeholders can be able to come in and take a view or take a look. We're thinking about making it an event so you can kind of do like a pre-open house deal to do that. All right, next. Okay, so there are other ones after that. We're off of the building now. Yes, ma'am. Good question. So this is what was told to me. What was told that they will provide us with, and how you doing, Ms. Scott Spalding, that there will be either some funds or ability to have playground equipment there before school starts. That's what I was told. All right. No, there's no playground equipment right now at this time. It's just field for right now. Got a soccer field and they have a football field. Yes. So what I was told was that we have no choice but to bring those up to code. I don't, I'm not privy to dates and when they're going to get started, but they have to happen. So I'm definitely trusting that that will be in place before we move in. Yes, ma'am. All right. Okay, yay. All right. So, any other questions about the building? Oh, and another thing, I have befriended the neighborhood association president, and she will get with me and a group of others to do another survey to try to organize carpool. We were proactive and we walked the campus anyway, and we were trying to see what would be an easier flow of traffic leading. So we had two different models we were trying to work on, but it's not set in stone yet to where we can make it nice and quick in moving them in. The fortunate thing is now we have the opportunity to at least try to have carpool on one side and buses on the other. So that would even free up even more space. And so we're looking into all of that. We're going to have a plan ready to go. That's another reason why we're going out there on the day before Mother's Day, the 13th, so we can take another look, take more pictures, try to run it. We got all this summer to try to get that in order, and we definitely will let the parents know, definitely let our community folks know how we're getting ready to run this carpool. All right. So any other questions about the building? Oh, and just minimum repair. The building is in great shape, you all. To say it was built in 1974 or something like that, it's in very good shape. Just surprisingly, so over the years, I heard that there were several renovations as the building got older, and it's definitely lasting. And so I think that you would be pleased as parents, the size of this building to where it can accommodate just different things that we try our best to accommodate here at our humble abode. So I think you'll be very pleased with that. All right. So we're going to jump into the tax plan. According to the tax plan, of course, we're next in line for the new building. The amount is $28.1 million for that. I can tell you that they're going to level this building, of course. We move into a swing space for 2 years, and then we'll move back to 2040 South Acadian Thruway. Next. All right, so this is where we are. Before then, when we had the first meeting, we said that we were in the process, the parish was in the district was in the process of picking or selecting a new architect. So that has happened. April has passed, and the name of the companies are Tipton Associates and RHH Architects, approved in April. All right, so there's a timeline that's fluid, but at least we got a timeline on how the building is going to get built. So the design, May 2023 through December 2023, they're going to come up with a design or a series of design. And then the committee will get together and look. Now, I will say this, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but I will say thank you to the parents and the stakeholders and the kids that have participated in the survey that we sent out twice. Now, will there be other opportunities to give input? Yes. We definitely, even if it's a face-to-face, it may be virtual, but we definitely want as much input as possible when we're talking about building the new building. Now, I'll be honest with you, we may not get 100% of what we want, but we want to make sure that we prioritize those items that we want to have for the new building. And so we have construction. The construction is scheduled for January notice. It's not even this year, January 2024 to May 2025. And so at that time, they'll be gutting this building out, taking out what they need to do and getting ready for demolition. And then the plans will be ready, and then they will start construction. And then the plan is to have school opening August 2025. Next. So, of course, I gave special thanks. I should have made that another color, but I will read. I didn't know it was going to look that dark. So with the survey results, this is what we got. The top 3 suggestions for the new building and campus, and number 1 on the list was carpool, 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 and of course bus. That was the number 1 one there. So number 2 was parking lots. They wanted to accommodate and make sure that our parents, visitors, and stakeholders are able to have adequate parking. We want to have, the vision is to have so much parking to where we don't even have to ask Catholic Life next door to use their parking lot, because now they're getting a little snarky, but that's another topic. So, number 3, a full separate auditorium. So we are pleading and begging for this because we are a visual and performing arts school. We're very unique. We use our auditorium every day, just about, either for rehearsal, practice, actual production. So we really, really need a full auditorium. I'm not an architect, but I did give ideas to some of our groups, and I sketched and wrote it out. And my vision is to make sure to have a full auditorium with arts classes surrounding the auditorium, because they all work together for grand productions. And wouldn't that be nice if those classes had easy access to the auditorium? So that's my vision going in, and also having the classrooms just surrounding everywhere, where arts is pretty much the front center of the school. That's my vision. So next. So now we got to the part where we have questions and answers. I told you I don't believe in holding long meetings because I wanted to reserve this section for questions. And I'll tell you again, for the parents that just came in or came in late, we will have a meeting specifically on the Reimagine grant on Tuesday, May 16th at 5 p.m. All right, any questions or any comments? Going once. Yes, ma'am.
So how active are you and the other staff in the design of the new school? Are y'all attend regular meetings and things like that?
Okay.
Oh, I just asked them how active they are right now.
When we've had the opportunity to develop about 2 or 3 new schools at this point, and each time that we've developed, once the architect is determined, the principal sits on the committee in terms of how we look at school, and as we start making decisions in types of colors and different things like that, as well as helping us when we go to select furniture. So he will have a very active part in the development of the building, and of course an active part in helping us to ensure that we can accommodate as much as we can some of the things that you want from the school.
You'll have regular meetings,
Once the process gets started, once the architect gets selected, that process will start then. One, so they've just been selected. So once they, yes, once they've kind of come on board, then of course as we start having the meetings, he will be involved.
And I'll tell you, I was part of the committee uh, with interviewing, not choosing, but interviewing the candidates for the architect job. And we had some very impressive folks to go up. It was hard. To be honest with you, you could have gone with either of the, 4 or 5 that made the cut. And a lot of them came up with concepts already. One even took the liberty of taking had an aerial shot of the school and put their design on the actual property so we can kind of visualize what was going on. We had one that had a carpool that was sick. I know I'm using that word. And oh man, and the carpool had like it could fit anywhere between 75 to 100 cars on campus at a time for carpool, and that idea was nice as well. So they got the idea, they did their homework, and so they know that number one priority is parking and carpool. Yes, ma'am.
Get the finalized plan, will y'all be able to share it with us, or is that going to have to be a wait until it's like really, really almost done type of thing?
Okay. So I don't have the idea. I know as we selected the architect, yeah, and they'll. I think they have, if I remember the timeline.
I don't know about expert, but yes, we will have some community meetings where the conceptual plans are, I guess, like a big reveal, so that you can see and anticipation of what's to come. So it'll all be, renderings and things of that nature and drawings, but there will be a reveal for a community meeting. And for your question, yes, staff is going to be included as far as the design process. The architect has been selected. However, we just kicked off. We had our kickoff meeting last week, Monday. So we're getting schedules and everything together. And from there's already been some preliminary meetings with the staff just based on the programming and the needs of the school. But that will become even more so once the architect starts meeting with them directly as well. So it'll pick up. And yes, staff, district, and all will be involved in that process. Well, that's the contractor down the line will be selection, but design-wise, that'll start immediately. It's really underway now. Just to hit, I know traffic, carpool, busing, and all of that. So just to give an update, we have started that monitoring. Week before last, the traffic engineers set up markers so that we could start traffic counts and things of that nature. So all of that will definitely be incorporated to make sure that we eliminate some traffic and get more traffic, get the cars off the road.
as you all think of any more questions, I just want to recognize our school board representative for our area, Mr. Cliff Lewis. And just so you can know who he is, I know he came on campus twice and met a lot of the staff already, or if not more, about 3 times. You've been here a little bit. So definitely it's been a great relationship working with him as well. And are there any more questions? Yeah, hey, this is what it's for. Yes, ma'am.
He mentioned CMAR, so I'm just wondering, when is a construction contractor when do you plan to bring a construction contractor in?
Okay. And so if we don't have any more questions, I would make a comment to end the meeting, and just want to talk about the great partnership that this school has with our central office staff, as much as trying to organize the move. And so we're thankful for that, and we're going to try very hard to make this a very smooth process. We know this is a monster. I'm not going to just sit here and lie and say that this is easy. I have been part of a move before when I was assistant principal at Baton Rouge High. I came in when they were moving from the old Lehigh back to the original place, and it was a monster. And so we just have to stay the course, make sure that we stay connected, and if we just keep chipping at it and working at it, I believe that we'll be ready for fall. Parents, we will keep you informed, and stakeholders and our central office staff, teachers, we're going to keep you informed on anything new that comes up, so you can be abreast of the latest moves and what we're trying to do here. So I just want to thank you for coming out. Remember, I would like to see everyone and more, probably triple or quadruple here for May 16th when we talk about and break down the Reimagine grant. Okay? All right. Well, thank you very much. Please make sure that you sign the roster. I told you I don't hold long meetings, and have a very safe and great afternoon. Thank you.